All right, now that we have our Node software installed on our computer, and hopefully that wasn't too much trouble for everybody, we can actually write our canonical Hello World program in Node.js. To do that, I'm going to go back to my terminal window here, or in Windows, my command.exe or PowerShell. And we're going to learn two ways to do this. And the first way we're going to do it is using something called the Node read eval print loop, or REPL, or just the Node interpreter. And the way you start that is you actually just type Node and launch it as a program, and you'll see here it just has an input prompt waiting for me to do things. Basically, I can just type in Node expressions or anything I want in Node, and it'll evaluate it and tell me what it did. So let's have it do the canonical hello world using the console.log function. And we'll learn in later chapters about some sort of Node globals that it provides for us in JavaScript. And the first one that we'll see is this console thing. And we will use the log function on it to print out hello world. So in our output here, the first line is what we told the console.log function to do, which is to write this string to the console. And then the second thing is the return value of that expression. Everything in Node has a return value, anything you evaluate. So the console.log function doesn't really make sense for it to return any special values or something, so it just returns the special value undefined. Again, I can run sort of any expression I want here in the REPL, the Node interpreter, and it just tells me what the value of that is. I actually frequently use this when I'm trying to sort of remember how to do things in JavaScript or in Node or something. If I want to remember how to use the substring function, I can say start at index 2 and end at, is that how it works? And yes, that's how this function works. So I play around with this all the time. And you'll find it useful. We'll use it a lot in the beginning of the book when we're sort of learning about some of the new things in JavaScript that Node offers us, or sort of refreshing our knowledge. As we work our way through the book, we'll use it less and less, mostly again just as a sort of way to refresh our memory on how things work. If we get a little confused, we're having some trouble here, we can type .help in the REPL and we'll sort of get a list of help here. And there's one thing in particular I want to show you because it tripped me up when I first started playing around with this. And let's say I type 3+ and I'm trigger happy and I hit enter too quickly. You'll see here I get 3 dots, and that's Node's way of saying I want more input to sort of finish this expression or something. And then I can type 4. And it says, great, that's a regular expression or something. It's a finished expression. I can evaluate it. Now, sometimes, however, I might find myself in this ... thing, and I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I don't want to be here anymore. I didn't mean to type that. How come I'm here? Just go away. So you can actually just type .break. And that tells Node to just discard what I've been doing up to this point and just takes me back to the regular REPL or something. So that's something that's going to be kind of helpful, and I use it all the time. And so the final thing we want to learn is how to exit the REPL, and that is with Control-D, and that just kicks us out back to our command prompt. Windows users, you might be used to using sort of Control-Z enter as a way to mark end of file, but for Node they don't use that. They actually still just use Control-D. So it's the same on Windows. So that's the first way of sort of playing around with Node and entering little scripts or sort of executing code and stuff. The second way to do it is actually just using a standard text editor, saving the file, and then having Node run it that way or something. On Windows, you can use whatever text editor you want, like Notepad, or if you're really hardcore, Edlin or Emacs or Vim, or I guess even Microsoft Word or something. Here on Mac OS X and Linux, I typically use Emacs, although I'll use Vim right now just to sort of keep everybody happy, since I'll mostly be using Emacs throughout these live lessons. But let's create a new file called hello world.js, and I'm going to type basically just the same thing again, like that. I'm going to save it and quit, and I hope my Vim commands are up to date. Yes, whew. And then I can see there's the hello world program. So actually I can just run hello world like that. And then this isn't the Node REPL interpreter, so it doesn't actually print out the return value of any given expression. It just does what it's told to do. and I can sort of view the contents of that file. And so that's the other way you can run Node code. And as we work our way through the book and we start sort of working on bigger and bigger projects and sort of writing more and more complicated functions, it's absolutely the dominant way we'll do this stuff. So, all right, in the next sub lesson, we're going to learn how to write a little web server in Node, which is totally cool. See you then.